Welcome back to Session 2, the second half of our Notorious playthrough for our first bounty with the engineer Orin'Dusk. And, well, we were just going to continue where we left off, and we are now moving on to hopefully find us some leads. So we were going to go ahead and do that and start with exploration number 4 here. For this exploration, let's see what we encounter. Number 2 again. So with that, we have a low notoriety. We do not have a notoriety of 6 or higher, so we do not encounter a lead. We once again roll on the exploration events table to see what we end up getting. So let's go ahead and give ourselves a 1d6 to see what table we're going to look at, and we'll be looking at my custom table number 4. Alright, let's take a look and see what this custom event ends up getting us. Ooh, number 6. You discover an underground network of tunnels believed to be the hideout of a notorious criminal gang. Choose one, infiltrate the gang's hideout and gather valuable intel, gain 1 favor, or confront the gang head-on, engaging in a fierce battle, plus 2 stars and plus 1 heart. If victorious, gain 1 notoriety. What infamous reputation does this gang hold in the criminal underworld? Since we've already gained as much favor as we're going to get, and we are maxed out on favor, we're going to confront this gang and engage them in a fierce battle to help us gain some notoriety here and find our first lead, hopefully at the next destination here. To remind ourselves, we will be using the leftmost die as our nomad dice and the rightmost die as the hostile dice. So we'll go ahead and fight a hostile with plus 2 stars and plus 1 hearts, or plus 1 defense, depending on how you want to look at it. So we're confronting this gang head on. We'll probably call out the leader of this gang and battle them. Since we had so much success last time, let's go with the ranged combat again. We'll use our blaster pistol here and set up the attacks that way. 2d6 on our combat roll. So it looks like we have 2 even, which means we get plus 1 and they get plus 2. This is not good. Considering I want to keep my motivation up as high as it is, we're currently at 5 of 6. I think we will, we'll spend 1 and re-roll that 2 and see how that goes. Okay, so we check off and remove the motivation, so we're now down to 4 of 6, and we go back and we re-roll our d6 here to see if we get anything higher than a 2. And with that, we end up with a 5. So that does mean we end up defeating the first round of combat of this gang and engaging them in fierce battle, which is surprising for an engineer. But nonetheless, we go in for round number 2 here. We need 1 more attack to successfully defeat this gang and confront them to see what goes on and raise our notoriety. Round number 2 of this attack, we end up with double 2s again. So it looks like I'm going to have to either take the hit or roll, take out our motivation. Knowing what I know about the motivation, I'm going to take a hit here. I will let that go through my defenses. I still have 2 more before I'm defeated, so I have a total of technically 4 hits I can take, because on the 4th hit is when we get failure. So let's go ahead and roll another 2d6 since they got a good hit on me, and see what we end up here. Once again, we have 2 and 2. So this isn't good. This puts me down to 1 and 1 on par with them. I'm going to go ahead and use my motivation once again on Orin'Dusk to prevent that, and we will re-roll another die here to see what happens with this roll. Hopefully we can get better than a 2. And we do. Luckily, we defeat the gang this time. So it took us a little bit of our motivation, and it has demotivated us a little bit. We are now down from 5 to 3. So we're at about a 50% motivation to continue on to find our target here. But, with the events still to come, we might have a chance of defeating this target here. All right, so that is a successful infiltration here of this gang, and we have confronted them and gained ourselves 1 notoriety. So let's go ahead and mark that. So we are now up to 4 notoriety. We should start finding leads now, especially. As Orin'Dusk defeats this criminal gang in these hidden tunnels underneath of Storix, he finds out that this is the infamous Shadowfangs. They have a reputation in the criminal underworld for their ruthlessness, precision, and sheer scale of their illegal operations. They are renowned for their expertise in smuggling contraband, orchestrating heists on high-security facilities, and carrying out clandestine assassinations. Maybe it was Orin'Dusk's connection to the Nomads, but this gave him the upper hand to defeat some of these members here and gain a little bit more notoriety, sending shockwaves through the criminal underworld. on Storix here. With that, Orin'Dusk makes his way out of the tunnels and on to his next destination to hopefully find a lead to find Vespa. We continue on to our destination. And with that, we end up at a bustling market or traveling scrap crawler run by locals. Choose one. Roll once on the destination events table, or speak with a local, then rest or barter for supplies to gain 1 motivation. Since our motivation is down a little bit, I think we will end up speaking with some locals, then rest or barter for supplies to gain one motivation. So we'll go ahead and have Orin'Dusk here go with the speak table. So let's pull up that on our rules. Okay, so when we speak with locals, we add half of our favor, and since we are already at our max, we can gain a +3 here instead of adding any other items to this. So let's see what happens as we speak with some locals. Alright, and that is number 9. As we speak with some locals, oh yeah, speaking of which, we also have to find out where we ended up going to. So let's go ahead and mark that. Okay, so for this place, we end up coming to a bustling market or traveling scrap crawler. What of these that we haven't used yet would probably be either a bustling market or scrap crawler? Well, the only thing that really makes sense is Hex, the execution arena. Kind of a weird place to have a market, but hey. So let's go ahead and mark Hex, the execution arena as our 4th destination here. I am supposed to do a 2d6 before rolling, so I gotta do a die roll here. Okay, I need to do a 2d6 real quick and see if I am able to defeat them or not in speaking, because I have to, in essence, charm them. So we'll do 2d6 and see what we end up getting here. Okay, so this is equal. Unfortunately, this means we are not successful in speaking with anyone here, and we don't learn any valuable information, so we just actually negate this roll here. But we then rest or barter for supplies to gain 1 motivation. So as Orin'Dusk meanders around the markets outside of the execution arena, he's able to pick up some more gear and patch up some of the wounds he has suffered from his battle with the Shadowfang gang. Alright, we are now back up to 4 out of 5 motivation, which will be handy for any encounters with leads or with fighting the target once we get to them. We don't get any valuable information here about what's going on in Hex or the faction's secret weapon, which we know a little bit about the Mystic Order's weapon that was taken, but beyond that we don't know anything else, sadly. So we will now move on to exploration number 5. Alright, leaving Hex, we end up moving on to number 5. If your notoriety is 3 or higher, you encounter a lead. So let's go ahead and take a look at the rules for encountering leads. To create our lead, we first need to roll for a showdown to establish the location where you encounter them in the wilderness. Then we first look at for the first and second leads, we roll on the species and personality, and then we roll on the leads table to discover who they are. Your third lead is going to be the target. So let's go ahead and take a look at our showdown. And let's see where our site is. Okay, there's our site, and now for our setting. Alright. As we are exploring Storix, we find our first lead here because our notoriety has gotten nice and high. That we feel drawn to them in the ruins of a mystic temple, full of whispers and strange symbols. A thick fog rolls in, reducing visibility and creating an eerie atmosphere of uncertainty. I see this as quite an interesting instant here, that maybe we're drawn back to the ruins where we first found the old machinery, where we found the mural, and from there, you know, we find our first lead here who has come into this area, maybe cloaked in darkness or what have you, and this fog rolls in and they step out of the shadows and reveal themselves. So let's go ahead and build our first lead. First thing we need to do is we have encountered our first lead, so we'll go ahead and check that off. So that's good to have. And now to follow the rest of the rules for our lead here. Now we need to roll in the species and personality table and get a name as well. Alright, so for our species, we have a Talok, a reptilian. Alright. And then for the name of our Talok, Lashk Fangrind. Lash Fengrind, the reptilian. Now to find out their personality. They are vain, cocky, or arrogant. Now we have to roll on the leads table to find out who they are. Alright, I've expanded this table as well, so we have 5 more extra lead types. And for our Talos here, they're a rival nomad. Interesting. Let's take a look at this full thing here. They're a rival nomad, vying to get to the target first to capture or protect them. Interesting. So our guild has sent someone else to also find Vespa. Roll for their nomad profile. 1d6, resolve all. 1, what connection does this nomad have to your origin? 2, speak with them. 3, they attack you using the loadout on their profile. Lose 2 favor and gain 1 notoriety. Alright, so I have to actually update that to a 2d6 here. A 4. So this is one of the original nomads. I believe that's a brute? Oh no, I hope that's not the case. Number 4. Oh, they're a bot. Okay. That's who our nomad, our other nomad here is that we're competing against. Another bot. Interesting. Let's go ahead and get our name for our nomad that we probably know. That comes out from the fog, the eerie fog here. Maybe they think that the mural is about them as well. So their name is Binary 13. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so he was originally a Talok who became a bot. So this is a special type of bot here, bot profile. Maybe was once humanoid and now became a bot. So what connection does this nomad have to your origin? Let's see. From the shadows, a rival nomad appears, and it is Lashk Fengrind, a former Talok turned nomad bot. A profound connection emerges between them that traces back to Orin'Dusk's origin. Lashk, in their previous life as a Talok, was once a close companion and fellow engineer who worked alongside Orin'Dusk in the same research facilities. During their time together, Orin'Dusk and Lashk forged a strong bond as they collaborated on groundbreaking technological advancements and pushed the boundaries of engineering. They shared countless hours in the laboratory exchanging ideas and pushing each other to achieve greatness. However, tragedy struck when a catastrophic incident occurred in the research facility, resulting in a devastating explosion. The accident left deep scars on Orin'Dusk's hands as he attempted to defuse the bomb, but the explosion was so great that it also caused severe injuries on Lashk, pushing them to the brink of death. In a desperate attempt to save Lashk's life, advanced cybernetic surgeries were performed, transforming them into the nomad bot he sees before him. Lashk, once flesh and blood's body, was replaced with mechanical enhancements, turning them into the perfect bounty hunter, capable of tracking down elusive targets with unparalleled efficiency. Lashk now goes by the name of Binary 13. Alright, now we go to speak with our first lead, a rival bounty hunter. So let's see what happens when Binary 13 talks to Orin'Dusk. Your target zealously pursued their goals no matter the cost. What collateral damage have they chosen to ignore? It was a small price to pay. In a very metallic voice, Binary 13 speaks with Orin'Dusk about all the collateral damage that they have caused in the wake of pursuing Vespa with a wholeheartedly zealous pursuit. It was a small price to pay. All of the innocent bystanders, and those sacrificed to find the target first, is what has had to be done to bring justice to the galaxy and to make sure that the contract is completed. Orin'Dusk, if you do not step out of the way, you too will be part of this damage. Okay, so that is part 2. We've spoken with Binary 13. Now they attack using the loadout on their profile. Lose 2 favor and gain 1 notoriety if you kill them. Alright, so for the bot, let's see here. When fighting multiple opponents, they'll have +2 attack. Or with a sharp metallic limb, they have +2 and they can self-destruct sequence. +5 damage, and ignoring defense ends your game immediately. So they can self-destruct if need be. But considering... Okay, so at the moment, it doesn't matter. Ranged or combat, they're going to get +2 attack. So I'm going to go with the same route. This is going to be a shootout here. Alright, so since we're going to do at ranged, again, I'm going to give myself the +2 hearts. So that's going to give me 3 defenses and 1 attack. And our bot here, Binary 13, has +2 attack, +2 defense. Alright, let's go ahead and have this showdown here. Here come the dice for the first attack. We have a 1 and a 6. Please let me be the 6. Ah, yes, I am the 6. Perfect. So, Orin'Dusk with a +1 to attack has a 7. Binary 13 has a +2 to attack between the shootouts, and I'm able to easily catch Binary 13 on an exposed extremity and deal some damage, maybe knocking out one of his arms or some sensor arrays of such. So that brings Binary 13 down from 2 armor to 1 armor, so now I need 2 more successful attacks. Let's go ahead and see how round number 2 goes. We have an even 3-3 here, which means Binary 13 is up by 1 point of damage, and I am down. So that's a 4 for me and a 6 for him. No, excuse me, 5 for him. I think I'll take the hit and just go down to 2 defense, and Binary 13 will have 1 defense. So we will go on for another round here. I'm trying to keep my motivation as high as possible. Alright, attack number 2. We have a 4 and a 2. Let's see how that works out. Ah, perfect. I have the 4, brings me up to a 5. And Binary 13 has a 2 and brings him up to a 4. So that is another hit on his armor plating. He is down to 1 more hit. If I can get 1 more hit, that would be perfect. Maybe because I am an engineer, I know exactly where to shoot and hit Binary 13, unfortunately. And I'm able to take him out and decommission him as fast as possible. So let's go here. We are now at 2 defense for me and no defense on Binary 13. And we will continue on with his attack. Okay, we have a 2 and a 3 here. And that works out to be, a 3. So I have a +3 and he has, or a total of 3. He has a total of 5. So I would need to roll a 4 or higher. So it would technically give me a 50-50% chance to roll better than him. No, I would need a 5 or higher. So that's a 33% chance. If I take the hit, that brings me down to 1 armor, and he has no armor left. I think I'll just take the hit and go down to 1 armor. We will go on for the next attack here. Hopefully I can take out Binary 13 with this attack. We have a 5 and a 6. Let's see here. Who gets the higher roll? Oh, Binary 13 has the 6. I still have a 5, so this is a good time for me to use motivation and re-roll his dice now to see about bringing him down. So I'm going to go ahead and take off one of my motivations and re-roll his d6 here. So we'll go ahead and roll that. Hopefully we can get something lower. And that is a 5. Okay, so that makes us even, but he still has the advantage here. Let's go and take that motivation one more time. Hopefully we can roll lower than a 5 or a 6. Alright, we're down to 2 out of 6 motivation, and we are going to re-roll that d6 once again. Ah, there we go. With a couple missed fires and movements, we are now down to a 5 and 1. And Binary 13, with the deflections of some shots, has been taken out of combat as Orin'Dusk is able to sadly defeat his friend. Alright, let's take a look at the results here. We are victorious, although it did demotivate us to have to attack someone we used to call friend. So they attack you, and using the loadout of their profile, lose 2 favor and gain 1 notoriety if you kill them. Alright, definitely don't want to lose 2 favor because I have a 6 favor. So let's take a look at the rules here for favor and whatnot. Okay, so we have a lead here. If we kill them, we're going to actually gain technically 2 notoriety but lose 2 favor. But if we spare Binary 13, let's see here, gain 1 favor with the guild, technically. Well, we are already maxed out with the guild, and I don't want to kill him because then I will lose 2 favor for killing a rival. As we know from the rules here, from the guild's code, Nomads don't fight nomads. The guild values a fair competition. Well, what they don't know won't hurt us. So if I don't kill Binary 13, then the guild won't know that we had this showdown that was technically prompted by Binary 13. And Binary 13 more than likely won't talk about being defeated. So we will go ahead and not kill him and keep the favor intact here. So we don't lose any favor. We don't really gain anything either, but we do have a lead. And Binary 13, for sparing him, tells us what they know about Vespa. In strained and garbled voice, Binary 13 reveals everything they know about the location of Vespa. They provide detailed coordinates, hidden entrances, and security measures surrounding Vespa's hideout. They divulge the secret paths, underground tunnels, and the intricate networks of contacts Vespa employs to stay hidden. Binary 13's information is a treasure trove for Orin'Dusk, providing a crucial insight into Vespa's whereabouts and enabling a strategic advantage in the hunt. It becomes clear that sparing Binary 13 was not only an act of mercy, but a tactical decision that will greatly aid Orin'Dusk in their mission. Now that we have that completed, we move on. Let us continue on to destination number 5. And let us see where we end up at. It appears we end up going back to the small spaceport, Nuka spaceport, run by the Targ faction here. And let's see what we end up getting here. You arrive at the small spaceport run by the challenging faction, resolve both. Gain 1 notoriety. Alright, so our notoriety goes back up to 5. If it's 5 or higher, which it is now, a hostile guard approaches. Okay, so the Targ faction doesn't like us for some reason. Alright, so we have to go ahead and deal with this hostile. This is going to be quick. We have 1 star here, no defenses, 2 stars, or 1 star for me for my gear, and 1 star for my loadout. I'm going to actually switch to melee and give myself plus 2 stars for this one, and go in with 3 to quickly deal with this hostile guard here. Oh, double 6s, but because I have the higher round number, this means I have a 9 and they have a 7. So I easily, it's kind of funny. You know, Orin is maybe getting a little, hopefully, even though he's demotivated from the encounter, this guard comes up to approach him and interact and kind of accost him, and Orin just has this look in his eyes of not today, and just quickly disables him with his weapon of choice. Alright, so let's take a look at hostiles here, because this was a quick attack with a hostile, and we might get some bonuses. Okay, so we have the hostile. If we spare the hostile, we gain 1 favor, and if we kill the hostile, we'll gain 1 notoriety. You know, I think Orin might be a little perturbed about having to deal with Binary 13 and might kill the guard. So yeah, we go ahead and kill the guard with frustration of having dealt with Binary 13 and having to disable them. Hopefully they'll be okay. And then we roll twice on the destination events table. And the tables will be table number 2, then table number 6. Okay, so table number 2, we're going to roll 2d6 on that. Table number 2, we end up having to deal with 2 sneering thugs notice my scar and shout insults at you. They must be brave, stupid, or extremely confident. Roll a die. On a 1 to 3, they're hostile and take pot shots at you with laser pistols. Plus 1 star, what do they find insulting or amusing about your appearance? Or 5 to 6, they're hostile and follow you into an alley to brawl. Plus 2 stars, how do their movements give away that they're professional pit fighters? Okay, so let's go ahead and roll the d6 here to see what kind of fight we end up having. Oh good, I was hoping for pistol shots. Okay, so we're both at even here. Well, actually, I'm at a plus 1 because of my gear. So I have a plus 2, they have a plus 1. And because of being ranged and getting the bonus, I'm going to take the... I like using the plus 2 for defense here instead. So I'm going to use the plus 2 for my pistol and go ahead and use that to give me plus 3 defenses here. So we're going to go ahead and roll our combat here against these thugs. Now, it doesn't say that there's more... Oh no, 2 sneering thugs. So we have two attacks to deal with here. So for the first thug, we will go ahead and roll. Both 6s, I come out on top, so that defeats the first roll because I have a plus 2, they have a plus 1. And then for the next thug, round number 2, a 4 and a 1. Let's see, who got the 4? I got the 4. Okay, so with that, I quickly and deftly shoot both of them down, no problem. Let's see what they thought was funny about my scar. Upon defeating the thugs, Orin spares their lives and wants to know why they thought his scar was so amusing. And he finds out the scars are amusing to the thugs due to its peculiar shapes and the story behind it on his hands. It bears a resemblance to a common symbol associated with a comical and often ridiculed character from local folklore here on Storix. To them, the scar is a source of mockery and amusement, as if it represents a comical mishap or an embarrassing incident in Orin'Dusk's past. Even though he is fed up with these thugs, Orin lets the thugs live and moves on to find his next event here in the Storix. Moving on, Orin'Dusk encounters a powerful artifact or relic is rumored to have been hidden within a nearby ancient ruin. Choose one. Embark on a treacherous journey to retrieve the artifact, gaining 1 notoriety. 1 ancient dangers or guardians stand in your way. And what is the artifact's rumored significance? Or leave the artifact untouched and gain 1 favor. Why do you believe it's best to leave such powerful relics undisturbed? Well, I'm going to go with the second option here. I'm going to leave the artifact untouched because this probably belongs to the Mystic Order. And knowing that already they're a minor faction here and Vespa has tampered with some of their stuff already, they might not be happy about that. Orin wouldn't disturb this as he does not want to besmirch his favors or his standing with the Mystic Order for now. So he leaves this ancient relic untouched to protect his standings with the faction. And off we go to exploration number 6. Ooh, we have a special event here. Let's see what happens with this. So we end up gaining 1 momentum. What peaceful locale activity do you spend time observing? Okay, first of all, we end up getting +1 motivation. So we are now at 3 of 6, which is excellent. And then we end up with the following peaceful activity. Orin is about to leave the Nuka spaceport, and seeking new leads and information, he stumbles upon a serene and captivating sight. Amidst the hustle and bustle of the planet's daily activities, Orin'Dusk comes across a gathering of locals engaged in a harmonious and peaceful activity known as the Rhythmic Equilibrium. The Rhythmic Equilibrium is a traditional dance and music ritual that holds deep cultural significance for the inhabitants of Storix. It is performed to maintain harmony and balance within their community, fostering a sense of unity and connection among its participants. In the heart of an open courtyard adorned with vibrant decorations and colorful ribbons, a group of individuals gracefully moves to the rhythm of hypnotic melodies played on ancient instruments. Their movements are fluid and synchronized, embodying a perfect blend of elegance and precision. The dancers, dressed in intricate traditional garments, weave patterns in the air with their graceful motions, creating an ethereal display of beauty and grace. The music, accompanied by enchanting vocals, fills the air, transporting onlookers to a realm of tranquility and serenity. Orin'Dusk finds himself captivated by the rhythmic equilibrium, standing on the periphery, observing the intricate dance with a sense of awe and reverence. The rhythmic beats and melodic harmonies seem to resonate deep within, stirring a wellspring of emotions and momentarily providing respite from the relentless pursuit of their mission. For a brief moment, Orin'Dusk becomes an unassuming spectator, immersed in the peaceful ambience and swept away by the unity and grace displayed before them. The rhythmic equilibrium serves as a gentle reminder of the beauty that exists amidst chaos, offering a much-needed respite and a source of inspiration as Orin'Dusk gathers their strength to continue their quest to find Vespa. Luckily for Orin, he is not accosted by anything during this exploration and moves on to the next destination. We will continue the story of Orin'Dusk and his first bounty, chasing down Vespa Stingslicer here on the planet Storix. Hopefully we will be able to find where the leads are in our next episode and maybe conclude with a battle with the target. We'll see you next time, bounty hunters.